Good evening, my Facebook family and friends. This is Myra joining you from Brown Cherub's Love Zone. Brown Cherub's Love Zone is a free Facebook page that I have set up to discuss attraction, relationships and love. I'm on today because I wanted to have a little bit of a discussion with you because I've been thinking a little bit about what's going on in terms of relationships, and it's boggling my mind a little bit. There's a few phrases that I've been hearing being knocked about. In fact, it's a little while ago, but I still wanted to discuss them. I haven't heard these phrases so much recently, because actually I don't even think that's happening at the moment. I don't think there's much going on at all. But before I go into that, I would just like to let people know that on this coming Wednesday, I think it's the 31st, I'm having another session. It's just an hour session, and it's about how to use, hi Derek, you alright mate? How to make yourself memorable, how to use memory skills to make yourself memorable, and that is in terms of interviews, filling in a CV, or even when you're meeting people and on the dating scene. So if you are around and you're interested, do check out the event on Meetup. It'd be great if you could join Solihull Wellbeing Clinic's group, and then you'll be able to see all of my future events and lots of other events that are being put on by the clinic. And then if you're interested, you can register there. If you're not able to do that for whatever reason, then just let me know and I will add you to the guest list. Hi Simon, all right. Sorry, this technology, I'm trying to get my head around it. Hi Jan, you all right, love? So there's that event coming up on Wednesday, and at the moment I haven't got any more events planned because I'm busy, as I said before, trying to set up one or two other things. So keeping myself busy, keeping myself out of trouble. But today I wanted to talk about a few phrases, as I said at the beginning. Oh, thanks, Jan. That I heard knocking about a couple of months ago, and just wanted to understand what was going on. Now, I haven't been on the dating scene for a very, very long time, so maybe I'm a little bit out of the loop, and I'm starting to lose touch with it a little bit. So I just wanted to have a little bit of discussion as to what was going on, and to hopefully give some useful hints and tips and suggestions towards the end. Because obviously that's what Brown Cherub's Love Zone is all about, creating a space where grown folk can have discussions about love, attraction and relationships. And really it's for singles who are seriously ready to mingle, but not just for those people. It's also for anybody who's interested in attraction, relationships and love. And as I say, it's free to join. You just need to message me and I'll add you to the group so you can see some of the videos that I've shared, some of the songs that I've been sharing, and some of the questions that I've been putting in the group, just for people to consider and mull over. So yes, going back to these phrases, I've got three of them, three phrases that I want to talk about. The first one is friends with benefits. Okay, now I'm not, as I say, I have not been in the dating scene for a very long time, so I'm not sure what the phrase friends with benefits actually means. Now, I understand it to mean that when people have been single for, I don't know, a certain amount of time, if you've got friends, hi Josanne, if you've got friends that you kind of like, you kind of get on with, you can actually have a sexual relationship with them without actually having a more serious relationship with them. So you remain friends, but you kind of getting on occasionally if both parties are happy to do so. And as I always say in my lives, I'm not here to judge anybody. Everybody's entitled to live their own life, but I have these lives just to give my perspective from my research, from what I've heard from clients, from my own relationships and from my own observations of people that I personally know. So just to consider the friends with benefit option, I don't know how people feel about it. I don't know whether I've given the right definition of it. But from my research, and the main people that I'm researching at the moment are Steve Harvey, Patty Stanger, who's the Millionaire Matchmaker, and John Gray, who is the author of Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. And all of them have pretty much said that, especially the women, everybody agrees that women are pretty much in control of a relationship, and they need to understand that and own that. So if you are in a relationship with a friend where you are, I don't know, in a situation where you have become a friend that gives benefits, it's a funny phrase, then largely that's down to the woman and what the woman will allow in that relationship, if you want to call it a relationship. There's some kind of relationships going on. So I think, and sometimes, you know, if some people think that something is better than nothing, I've done a live about this before, and you can find my lives in the group and on my page if you want to see others. But I have talked about this before, and I did say that you know, women are in control, and at the end of the day, you will always get what you're willing to put up with. You'll be treated, and this is for the men as well, you'll always be treated how you allow people to treat you. So it could be that, you know, both parties are happy with that, and that's absolutely fine. I'm not judging that. These kind of lives and these hints and tips are obviously for people who want something different or something other. So the friend with benefits is, I think, a very interesting and quite a modern concept. I don't think that was a thing when I was in the dating arena many moons ago. But yes, the tip for you there is you're only ever going to get what you allow and what you're willing to put up with and accept. So I just want to just give the message that if that's what you're willing to accept, then that's fine for you. But in terms of growing a relationship and having something more, it tends to not go much further than that, because you've already established that that's what you're willing to accept, and that's you know you've made do with that level of relationship and not required any commitment at all. It's also very difficult then if you either party meets somebody else, that then other person becomes a bit of a spare wheel. So it can be difficult. I would suggest it's better not to get in that kind of relationship if you're looking for something more or want more of a commitment. Maintain your standards, believe in yourself, don't you know, become involved in something that is not what you want. Just try and hold out for what you want, keep your belief, and keep your friends, and, you know, understand the relationships that you're in for what they are. And as I say, if somebody says, you know what, Myra, I want to do that, that's fine, then that's absolutely fine. That's, you know, as I say, I'm not telling people how to live, I'm just giving my suggestions and my tips. The next phrase I wanted to discuss was linking up. So there's a phrase where people link up, and again, this phrase wasn't around when I was dating, so I find it quite interesting. I'm not, again, exactly sure what it means. I did ask one of my cousins what it meant, and she literally just said, you get a message or a phone call, and the person would ask if you want to link up with them. You meet them somewhere, you have sex with them, and then you just, both parties just go about your business, and that's it. And it's not necessarily any kind of relationship whatsoever. It is just that, and I think both parties understand and know that it's just that, and accept that it's just that, and that's it. And again, that's fine, you know, as long as both parties are happy with that, understand that, everybody's safe, and everybody's given consent, and everybody's an adult, then people can feel free to do what they like. However, again, it becomes difficult if either party meets somebody that they want to have a more serious relationship with, that other person then gets left out in the cold, which can be difficult. And also, again, it's okay if you don't want anything more from a relationship. If you want something more, hold out for it, because that is really lowering your standard. And you know, unrequited love can be a very painful thing, and meaningless sex is, it's just a waste of time. And that I can tell you from my own personal experience. It is nothing like having a proper intimate relationship with somebody that you love. So again, some people might think that something's better than nothing, but I think the toll it can take on you emotionally eventually will wear you down, and it isn't worth it, because it's not reciprocal. You're not getting anything back in return, and you'll both start to understand that, you know, there is nothing there, and it becomes meaningless, and it does take a toll on you emotionally as well after time. So again, just consider that. I mean, if you're single and you're sitting there thinking, well, you know, it's better than nothing, then just ask the person, you know, why can't we go out and eat, or why can't we go out and watch a movie? Well, why is it always that it's this? Try to have the conversation and try and understand why, you know, you're good enough to lay down in a bed with, if you're lucky enough to get in the bed, but you're not good enough to be taken out or to be seen with. That suggests something's going on, you know. So, you know, if you care and value your own self-respect and your own self-esteem, then, you know, you have to hold on to that. And, you know, I think more times out of 10, it's the women that tend to be the person getting the phone call rather than making the phone call. I don't know, maybe times have changed, maybe men and women have changed status, but that's how I've understood it over time. Another phrase I want to discuss again, and it's kind of an old phrase, this is my last one, is, you know, being a bit on the side. And to me, being a bit on the side suggests that the man usually has got a relationship, who's already seeing someone in a serious capacity, but he then still sees you on the side, as a bit on the side. And again, I'm just raising this as a discussion. If people want to comment or give put an emoji in, you can, because it's an interesting topic. And you know, I've said all along since I've started these lives that statistically there are 1 million more women in the UK than men. So there isn't a man for every woman. There isn't someone for everyone, because the obviously the ratio doesn't work out on, you know, in terms of heterosexual relationships. So maybe some women are willing to consider being a bit on the side, because they understand that maybe sharing a man is better than having no man at all. And again, for those women, that's absolutely fine. You do you. Just understand that it's very, very rarely, it can happen, and I have known it happen, where, you know, a man has left his wife or his current girlfriend for his bit on the side. I have known that happen. I've even heard of men wanting to have both women live in the house, and don't see anything wrong with that. But these are the times we're in, people. We're in times now where, not, I wouldn't go as far as to say anything can happen. Possibly it can, I don't know. But, you know, people are having to review, you know, their situations and their relationships, and what they are and aren't willing to accept. So I'm just putting that to you. Is that something that you would accept? Is it acceptable? I mean, does it have to become acceptable because of the you know, the ratio of men to women, where there are far more women than there are men? Maybe, you know, people are thinking that we just share the man. You know, he's your husband. He'll, you know, give his income to you and live in your household and put the ring on your finger. But, you know, occasionally he can just dip out and see somebody else. I don't know. These are the things that we have to start discussing, and that's what the group's for. Personally, I have high standards and high expectations, and you know what, I'm quite happy to be on my own, and I like my own company. So I personally wouldn't entertain that kind of opportunity personally, but I wouldn't judge anybody else for being in that situation. But what I would say to them is be very, very careful, because it's again, it can have an emotional toll on you, and sometimes you've got to ask yourself, is it worth it? Is it really worth it? And what is it that you really want? And why is it that the person that you're focused on can't give you that? And then come to terms with whether you're going to accept whatever crumbs they're going to throw to you, or whether you're actually going to just hold out and wait for something that's more substantial and that's more of what you want. So yes, just considering some of these phrases and trying to get my head around them and understand them, and try and give people some tips and hints and advice as to how to proceed and move through that. I'm a great advocate for communication. If you're in any kind of situation or relationship, or even if you're unsure of what your status is, have the conversation. And sometimes it can be a bit difficult. It can be a bit tense as to how to raise it. But just remember that you are worth whatever it is you want from life. You're worth it, and you can have what you want. And you don't have to compromise yourself. That doesn't mean that you don't compromise with the person when you're in the relationship that you want, so that both parties are getting what they want from the relationship and they're both benefiting. But you shouldn't have to compromise yourself so that the other person can be fulfilled. You know, the other person should not be fulfilled at your expense. It should be reciprocal. It should be a mutual exchange, and both parties should feel that they're benefiting from the time that you spend together. So that's my little bugbear for today. I don't usually have bugbears, but that's just been really like winding me up, because people are saying these things like it's nothing, and I'm like, maybe I'm misunderstanding them. Maybe I'm not understanding what people are saying, because it seems very strange to me. But then, you know, I don't know everything, and maybe times have changed, and maybe I'm just old-fashioned, and maybe I need to get a bit more hip and a bit more with the times. I don't know, what do people think? Am I being old-fashioned, or, you know, am I right? Give me a thumbs up or a heart if you're agreeing, or do I need to do a bit more research and get into the 21st century? You'll have to let me know what you think. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm old school as well, and these are phrases I heard quite some time ago now. And as I say, current phrases, I'm not really hearing people saying much at all. I think a lot of women are saying phrases like, where are the men? You know, that's what I'm hearing now. Where are single men? Where do they hang out? Nobody don't seem to be able to see any. Nobody don't seem to know any. But that, I think, I'll have to say for another video. I have talked a little bit about that topic before, but I just wanted to mention those phrases and just let people mull them over and think about it, because I think sometimes when you are single, your goalposts might start to shift slightly, especially when certain opportunities present themselves, and you just need to yeah, absolutely, each to their own, but I'm just here to try and, you know, give my perspective and to help anybody who's confused or upset, or, you know, in that phase where they're kind of muddling it over. So yes, you know, my advice, as I say, just to finish off, is just to stand firm with what you believe in yourself, believe it is possible. There are good men out there, there are single men out there. You can have it, and, you know, you just really have to be your best self and present yourself as your best self, and try to understand how attraction works, which is why I've been creating these videos. And just enjoy life. Make sure, no matter how you live in your life, that you're enjoying it, because, you know, as I always say, we're here for a good time, not for a long time. And on that note, I will say love and light, have a great evening, and namaste. Bye.